All right, is my mic on? Good morning, good morning. Today is May 8th. It is about 8:30 in the morning and it's about 70 degrees. It's partly cloudy now, but the sun is actually supposed to come out a little bit later. So it's going to be a warm day. It's going to be the first non-rainy day in maybe like 5 days. It's been raining on and off for about 4 days here. Sorry if I'm talking really loud. I hope this mic is working because it's like about rush hour traffic on the highway behind me. That's my house faces. So it's very busy. And to me, it sounds extremely loud. So I'm hoping this mic is not picking up the traffic. But we're going into the hive super early in the morning. Why? Because when I got my swarm hive, her name is Sharon, the queen. It was told to me that Sharon is likely unmated, and because it's been raining on and off for the last couple of days, this means that Sharon might not have been able to. Oh man, I got a bunch of gnats. She might not have been able to leave the hive to do her orientation flights and then her subsequent mating flights. So I don't want to go in the middle of the day. Normally, you would go into a hive when all the foragers are kind of out and about and you have less bees to contend with inside the hive. That being said, the best time to do that would be when Sharon would be doing her flights. And queens can sometimes get lost on their way back to their hive. And so if I change the look of the hive when she's doing her flights and she comes back and she's like, that looks different. That's not home. And she doesn't come in, we've got a problem. Okay, so I want to make sure that Sharon comes back. So I'm going to do it early in the morning before the bees are leaving to do their forage, before Sharon would be out doing her flights. The goal for Sharon's hive is I'm going to check to make sure that they're doing well. If I'm lucky, I won't be surprised if I don't see eggs. I'll actually be surprised if I do see eggs, but we're going to check for eggs. See if I can find Sharon. I'm not going to mark her yet. I do want to mark my queens, but I'm not going to mark her yet. Not until she's more established. She's had some time. The combs are more built out and everything. So I see some foragers now coming and going, but I might give them a couple more frames. I based it off of like a 8-frame hive box, and I only gave them 8 frames. So I have been checking in on them. They look like they're bringing in pollen, which is a good sign. That means, I mean, they would be doing that anyways, but that usually means there's some sort of brood rearing about to happen or going on. And so that's a good sign. They are pulling in resources. They're not as explosive as Carol, my first hive, but I think they're getting there. And I just want to make sure like how many frames they have built out, filled out, and check to see how they're doing. So I'm going to be real quick with Sharon's hive. And then Carol's hive, we're going to go in, and they, like I said, they are explosive. Like, whoa. So just seeing them do their flights in the afternoon, there's a traffic jam at the door, and it's fully opened. So a little bit nervous about going in there. The goal for Carol's hive today is I might add some more frames. I might see where she's laying eggs. The last time we opened her hive, I think she was laying eggs in the light colored foundation that I have, which I meant to be for honey or nectar. And I think she's laying eggs in it, so we'll see. We're gonna phase out those medium frames. Continue to phase out the medium frames, and let's see what else. Make sure the burr comb that they have underneath is not. They're not growing it together. They're not connecting it. What else? We're gonna check on that the drone burr comb that they had building underneath of medium frames. So either this week or next week's inspection, once that drone comb is capped over, I will be removing it and scraping it out. This is because mites, the varroa mite, that just is a parasitic mite for the honeybees, they tend to choose to go into drone combs specifically like more often. They're less likely to go into a um, queen cell because um, when they lay eggs, they want as many of their daughters. The male mites never leave they mate and they never leave the cell, but they want as many of their daughters to mature and be able to, procreate, like go on and keep doing what they're doing. In a queen cell, they only have 16 days to do that because it's 16 days till the queen emerges. So they don't usually choose a queen cell to do their procreating in. Um, they do use worker cells, but they only have 21 days, so it's a little less time, or a little more time than a queen, but less time than a drone. This means that some of the daughters will make it to maturity to be able to leave the cell and keep going, but possibly not all of them if the timing doesn't line up. Drone cells are a favorite to mites because they take 24 days to mature and emerge from the cell, which means they have more time for their daughters to mature and leave from the cell. So, taking care of, I know it's harsh to kill the drone cells. They're like pupating and they're like, you hate to kill the bees, but taking out drone comb is can be a good form of pest management for the varroa mite. So unfortunately for the drones, I'm still in the midst of treating. I will be back to treat Carol's hive tonight with the OA treatment, and then this Friday, before they have any severe capped brood or any brood at all in Sharon's hive, I will be treating Sharon on Friday evening. So OA treatments are safe and gentle. They do not, however, go below the cell once it's capped over. They don't go over under the caps. So they can't kill any of the varroa mite under capped cells. It's that gentle. But it will kill all the mites that are hanging out and sucking and feasting on our bees outside of the cells. So that's still a good thing, or any of them skidding around on the comb or anything like that. Um, so that's why Carol is getting 3 treatments once every week. So sort of handle the mites as the bees are like sort of emerging, like in stages. Whereas Sharon doesn't have any capped brood probably at this point, or unlikely, and so her cells are all open, and that means any varroa destructor mites that are in there will die, and that's a good thing. Okay, so I gotta find a pencil to put my hair up and get my suit on, which is wet because I accidentally dragged it on the dew grass, and hopefully this inspection is quick. I need to get faster, guys. I need to get faster. All right, love you guys. Love you, Dad. Dad, love you all the time, every day. I say that to you all the time. And yeah, let's get started. Blow my nose. Still getting over that cold. And before we put my gloves on, I'm going to rearrange the camera. And we should be good to go. Do a little prayer, take a little breath, and let's get started. All right, how's that looking? Looking good? First thing I kind of want to do is make sure that this area on this side of the follower board is not being used. Looks wonderful. No bees are in there. That is a brilliant. There's a couple of dead bees Either they got stuck over there, or sometimes I see the bees using this space as a way to get rid of their dead. Usually they take them outside the hive, but sometimes I have seen them just drag them over to that side and dump them. This is actually very tight. Oh, sorry. That's interesting. I'll leave it up, and that way when I close the hive up, I'm not using them. Let's see what they're doing in here. They are in here. There's not as many, despite having um, a lot of, sugar syrup still left. What I've noticed is, I think Sharon's hive is actually more. They're veterans at going out and getting food. Um, I don't know what that says about them, other than I don't really have to worry. I think they go out and they're foraging a little bit better than Carol. Maybe because Carol was spoiled. She was well taken care of by Miss Diane. And so maybe they're just spoiled. I don't know. I'm going to get rid of some of these dead bees before I go in. Usually when I open the boards, at least in Carol's hive, oh, I see some red ants in the oil trays. They immediately come through the follow board and start using these open slats as an exit. And I don't see Sharon's hive doing that. Alright, we're going to pick you guys up. We're going to put you over here. Hi, lady. Look at that. Hello. Already saying hi. These bees that are dead look like they're ones that got stuck. They go up in the jam in the feeder area, and they sort of just get stuck there and die. My trash bucket. Hi, lady. Hi. I don't really need to take these ones up because they're not with the follow board, but that's okay. In comparison, Sharon's hive is tiny. Very tiny. Alright, my smoke is hitting my leg and coming up. I'm hoping that helps me. Look at that. Looking good. They're looking good. I see a lot of drone comb, which is beautiful. Let's see if this follow board moves really easy. It does. Oh, that's so beautiful. I'm so happy about that. Having an easy to move follow board? Great. Alright, so I can already tell you, this frame on this side is just starting to get drawn out. Yeah, they still got plenty of things to work with here. Nectar, some pollen. There's some of those dark bees that I'm a little bit nervous about. But this side of the frame, they're still working. Let's keep going. No eggs. This is resources right here. Do I keep it covered? Good question, Kelly. Let's keep going. There's a lot of bees on this frame. Sorry. Carol seems to... Ooh, this one's a little heavy. Carol seems to be a little bit... Or I'm sorry, Sharon seems to be a little bit more organized. Perhaps it's because I don't have random medium frames going on in here. There are eggs! Oh my gosh! Let me look for Sharon. Make sure she's not on here. That means she's mated, guys. She went out and she did her flights. Good for you, Sharon. Good for you. This side has resources. So this is kind of like they split. This is where they've done their split. This side is resources and this side is brood. That means going forward, that should all be brood. Sharon, you're doing excellent. Color me impressed. Color me impressed. I am impressed. I wish I could take a photo. I wonder if I can kind of. I'll have to remember that I twisted this so I can put this back exactly the way that they had it. No. Woo! Okay, don't do that. Don't do that. Here, you know what? Since Sharon's not on here, and I have no fear of anything happen, I'm gonna put her on this little frame area. See if I can get a good picture of the eggs. Look at that! And she's doing good. They're all in the center. The eggs are in the center. This looks beautiful. This is a gorgeous frame. Oh, I'm so happy. I can't believe she was able to get out, to be honest with you, and go on that mating flight, being that it was so rainy and just so crappy. All right, brood going this direction, and they're very calm, which is excellent. Oh, I got my glove stuck, and I don't want it to drop suddenly. Here, let me put this side down. Sorry, just trying to drop you guys gently. Honestly, I'm not even gonna worry. I don't even know if I really need to go in for the rest because this is looking so good that I'm just happy that they have eggs. Great. Now there's a. Sounds like there's a mower on the street behind me. Getting rid of all the weeds. All right, so we have one frame on the very end here that they're still working on. But this frame is looking good. It's got brood already in it. You know what I mean? So um truthfully, is it 80% full? Not really sure. This one has eggs. Trying to catch some of the sunlight here. Yep, lots of eggs. Let me tell you, Sharon is doing excellent. These ladies are really drawing out. It's looking so good. Look, there's, oh my gosh, there's larvae in this one. This top area, that's got to be at least, like 3 or 4 days old. And then some of the bigger ones got to be maybe like 5. The cells are deep. Where's Sharon? Can I find Sharon? It's still early for them, so it's like, it's almost like they look like they haven't even started their day. Look at this lady, she's got pollen. Bright orange pollen on her legs. Oh, that looks so pretty. I don't see Sharon yet, which I am surprised because if she's all the way over here filling out eggs and stuff, you would think that she ran out of space closer to the door and she would be closer to this end. So unless I've missed her, but really that's not the important part. As long as I am seeing eggs and I know she's in here. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about that. All right, larvae goes inward. Larvae goes inward. I'm saying these things to myself out loud so that I can put the frames back exactly the way that I find them. See if I can get you guys a view of the larvae. See that? There's a lot of bees on there. Oh, there's one. Oh my gosh, look how pretty they are. There's some eggs. You see the eggs? And then as you go up, they get a little bit older. Doing excellent. Excellent. Let's see. So far, actually, I was not expecting to see, this much activity, actually. So, is it 80% full? Do they need more frames to be working on? Now, look down here. Now, isn't that interesting? Hardly any bees down here. That's interesting. Usually they build out their brood right here. So I wonder if there's something that they're just not happy with. Let's see if I can. And they've just decided to not build on it. Because I like don't see any bees at all on these bottom frames closer to the door. All right, straight up, straight up. Oh, it's so lovely not having burr comb, but I can just sit the frame down when I need to. All right, this one has a little bit of eggs, but more pollen, a lot more pollen, which I'm assuming is probably bee bread. Sharon's doing pretty good. She looks like she's laying where she can on this frame because they are starting to fill it more with resources, and so she's just sort of putting her eggs on this frame where she can. It's a big old drone right there. I still haven't seen Sharon. If she's already done her orientation flights and she's already mated, I don't have to worry about her coming back to the hive and being like, oh, is this my house? And being confused. Seeing that she's here, she's laying eggs, she's home, she's good. She's not, I don't have to worry about her getting lost or anything coming back. Oh, there's a slight breeze. That feels nice. A little bit of baby breeze there. This is the frame that is kind of directly in front of their door here. This one they have drawn out comb. Still working on it. They're doing a great job, and it actually has resources on it. No eggs. They have not drawn this out at all. And pretty much the subsequent 1, 2, 3 frames also don't have anything drawn on it. I can tell you that because there's no bees on it. Although it does look like they are somewhat, I see evidence of them possibly going to work on it because look at that. There's like nothing on here. But you see like these little white pieces right here? These extra little white pieces? That's them about to work on it. So I am not going to give them any extra frames. I'm not going to do that. They seem to be just fine. I wish they would move down towards the door the way they're supposed to, but again, bees do what bees are going to do, and they don't read handbooks. They just do what we read the handbooks. Look right here. I gotta show you this. A bee came over and dropped her pollen baskets. Not in a hive. Isn't that funny? Those are 2 pollen baskets that a bee just kicked off right there and left. Just decided to leave it. Don't know why. That's a bit odd. They're supposed to be putting those in cells. But again, bees don't really read the textbook. They just sort of do whatever bees are going to do. I don't know what to tell you. All right, so this is definitely not 80% full. I did not see Sharon, but that's okay. She's not marked. I saw evidence of her, and that's all I really need to know. That's all I really need to know. I'm not going to give them any more frames. This is not 80% full, and they still have space to move about, but they are doing good. I saw bee bread, I saw pollen, I saw eggs, I saw nectar. No capped anything yet. So let's see. I'm going to count these because my bee journal actually asked me this question. So this one had half resources. This one was egg 1, 2, 3, and I think, did this one have okay. This one is all resources, no eggs. Okay, so we've got 1.5 of resource and 1, 2, 3 frames of brood. That's excellent. They've got 8 frames total, so they've still got room to work. And we're going to close this up. Call it a day. Look how calm they are. They're not even going on top. Have they had their coffee today? Maybe they just they're still sleepy. They're not there yet. I'm gonna let them finish out that sugar syrup that I have on top, but the nectar flow is still on. I'm seeing tulip poplar like flowers starting to drop, but there's still plenty of them. So they, at this point, they are healthy enough. I'm gonna leave these little pollen baskets on the top, and maybe a girl can pick them up and put them in a frame. Um, what was I gonna say? Oh, so they should be able to bring in their own nectar at this point. I'm not gonna feed them anymore once they use it up. And that is Sharon. Sharon's doing fine. She's doing excellent. I am impressed. You'll love to see it. You'll love to see it. You really do. All right, Sharon's good to go.